skate vibes, fall skate vibes. This shit's gonna be fast, you know? Yo, what's up? It's Sam the Dingus here shooting a video, and I'm still gonna use these clips for that video, but I wanted to make this a separate video too. This is a quick tutorial, mental tips, body tips on how to take hills with a skateboard or longboard. Well, there's a lot of factors that go into it. For one, I recommend you do have a longboard. I was doing hills with my skateboard, but for two reasons you don't want to do that. One, you don't get as fast, which seems like you'd be more stable in some ways because you're more under control, but at the same time, it's actually not true. Secondly, longboard is designed for this kind of thing. You can't really tip it, the balance is superior, the wheels are wider, and also when you hit a small rock or an acorn on a skateboard, it'll shake you completely, but this thing is meant to take those kinds of obstacles. So if you're talking about safety and safely taking large dips with a lot of speed, you want to be insured in every regard. So longboard is what you want. Number one, board tips. Now body tips, it will only help you if you're in decent physical shape. You know, you should definitely be practicing before you take on big challenges. You know, as someone who's been doing parkour most of his life now, I know all about this, but you know, people want to jump into things when they get started, and understandably so, but you want to ease into things, progress, so you can be safe when you do it. It feels much better when you're not hobbling around on an injury and you're just continuing to bash hills because you're a beast. Second, I recommend you do have a parkour roll down or a break fall roll, or have some understanding of physics so that you could save yourself if for some terrible reason you have to bail. If you don't know how to roll, you know, you face a lot of potential injuries, death, broken bones. But if you roll, even though you can get smacked up, you can mitigate a lot of the risk and damage. More than anything though, when it comes to the board, it's all about your mind. I want to discuss technique before I get into the mentals though. When you're coming at a hill, what you want to do is move with the board. So you want to put your weight on the front, not like so far front that you like slide back and the board goes behind you, but the phrase that we use is attack the hill. If you're like holding back because you don't want it to go super fast, then your balance is off axis. But if you're pushing forward with it, you're slamming through that hill, it will keep you more balanced if you're leaning forward into it. So that's my number one recommendation. If you're gonna do a hill, do it all the way. Attack the hill. And that's why I recommend you progress. You know, when you're coming up it, start from smaller areas and go down it. Make sure that's easy, and then you can move it back and back and back until you've done the whole thing. This way you're not chancing everything just for the glory. But you know, if that's you, then that's you. Last things I want to talk about are the most important before I get to this hill. There's the mental aspects. So you have to remain calm. You just got to trust the board, trust the balance, and trust all your training. That's why I recommend you do train, practice for these things so that you have some kind of thing to fall back on whenever it gets fast and furious. Something that can bring you some peace of mind that you can hold on to. Because, you know, there are times when it does start to go way too fast and you start to get scared. And there comes a point then when it's no longer safe to bail because you're going so fast. You know, because then you'd be sprinting to try to catch up with the road and you end up falling that way, especially if you're going down a hill. So, more than anything, you just got to trust the board, stay on the board, attack the hill. But stay balanced. Lean forward. Don't put weight into your back foot very much. Just stay focused, like you want to get more speed. That's the best way to keep your cool. And it's not like you can actually push the board much more forward. So it's really just setting the weight in the right place. But like I was saying, trust the balance, and what I recommend is you just breathe. You know, you get to that point where it's speeding up and it's going to keep speeding up, and you know this, and then your heart just like gets in this like loop because it's like I'm freaking out, but then I'm like it's still going to get worse, and you just lose control very easily. That's just what I would call anxiety, and that's what scares you and leads to you crashing on your board, and that sucks. Roads hurt, man. Don't do that. I've only taken one bad hill fall and that sucked, so don't recommend. It was in my night skating video. Also recommend you don't skate at night. So my last piece of advice before I take this hill is, when things get freaky, just breathe. Take deep breaths, control your body, and the board will do what it does. Think of it like this. The board's not gonna go nuts. It's you riding on top of the board. So you just gotta keep it in place and it will work. I promise. Just gotta believe and stay calm. Now, this is a new area for me. I haven't taken these hills yet. I've been easing up to them. Last time I went from that black mailbox and it actually got decently fast. So this is the new highest that I've done, and it's been months since I've been able to do a true longboarding videos because I moved to a new area, so I don't know the spots yet. So I'll probably get scared at least at one point during this, but you probably won't notice, but I'm applying all these things that I learned here. And if I make it to the bottom safely, you know that I was listening to my own advice. And if not, then you know that I know how to roll. So apply everything you've learned, remain calm, stay breathing, trust it, and enjoy the feeling. Because if you ask me, there's nothing more liberating than flying down on a longboard. Even with my parkour love and passion, there's something special about this. Always check for cars, let's go. Survivor. Also, I recommend you pick your area as well. You don't want a road that has a lot of cars where you're going to have to constantly be checking for safety. And also, if you have grass on the sides that you can bail to, that's better as well. But the best thing about this setup is that there's a hill on both sides of it. So when the hill is done, it actually slows down because I'm going back uphill. As opposed to if it flattened out, you still have to ride for a long time before it's safe to jump. The less time you're forced to be on the board, the safer it'll be in general. So thank you for stopping in for this tutorial. I hope you can enjoy the Hillbombs. There's nothing I love more. See ya.